I mean, last video, I completed like the main puzzles. I will go to the other ones later, but I want to explain more about the game. This game's been developed for like years and years. I'd have to say about 8 years. And it's still being updated, which is just amazing from a game. So like, really support these people. They're still going. They haven't had like over 1,000 people in a couple years, but for the very limited people that are still playing, they're still updating. But yeah, I want to talk about deck building, and of course, I'm not professional or anything. I know the basics, and that's about it. What I'd recommend for a starter deck is the Grinders deck. I'll probably go over deck types and how you're supposed to play them. Specifically just the starter deck. Well, like all the starter decks. Because you can buy them from the shop. But yeah. So the first thing I'd recommend is you get a class. You can see the archetype. There are many to choose from. And most cards will only work with their archetype or with their rarity or with their color. Basically, just get a base. Get a base down. For example, if I wanted to run Lunar Acolyte, I would obviously go for more Acolytes, so I can support him, build the best deck out of him. What I would also recommend is instantly playing Stud. You can have up to 3, they give you another colorless, and most of the time, they will be useful. You can see a lot of things past colorless. I don't have many cards, but if I go like this, it shows me 33 cards require colorless. That is a lot of cards. Not 33 cards, 33 pages. Just put that I can't speak today, goddamn. Put that into perspective. You can see all of these cards. They all require colorless. And the studs just give you a lot more stud duration. Along with this bear, if you get the crowd's favor, which is 8 fighters in play, give you another colorless stud, you can double its stats, which means you just get 2 colorless. Which, really good. Especially if you're building an Acolyte deck or anything like that. Just something that fill up the bench. Now, what's also important is starters. There is a filter in the rarity there. This shows all the starter cards. And what starters do is, if you have a starter card, it is guaranteed that 1 will be in your opening hand, which you could definitely take advantage of. For example, if you're running blue, red, or green, or just multiple colors, you can use this card, or this card for yellow, red, and green. They put the stud crystal, which will go into your base plate, and basically acts as a green stud. Self-explanatory. Of course, you want to look for combos as well. I don't know many apart from the acolytes. Of course, you can just go around, test these cards, look at the cards, see what you want. Let me find a combo. This card is actually quite good. Give yourself an uncommon, give your opponent a copy, and it's infinitely psychable. So you could probably get something where you can just duplicate the card. I probably won't make a full deck here. I'll just keep explaining. But what you want to focus on is stud duration for about 10 cards. And then everything you plan to use the studs on. So right now I have 3 colorless and then another colorless doubler. Which means that with the other 6 cards, I could get 3 of these. And that gives me every color type. But since it's only 3 of each basically. I'm not limiting as well. Shows up, doesn't it? I can stuff out. Yeah, it does. Cool. Yeah, this is how I do my voice recording. That is my name. I don't know half these are. I have to use my main account and alt account to do this. Yeah. Since we have 3 of each, it's just we can't get 3 of every single one. The maximum we can get is 2. Because if I play this, it only gives me blue or red or green. Not all of them. Right. So we can only have 2 of each. That limits me to very limited options. We can obviously go stuff like this, where it has every color. We can go these ones, where it's high colorless, but then only one other color. And that would probably be the best situation for me. This guy can definitely get some combos. The main thing you want to look for in a combo potential is there a way that it could be loot? You see this guy? He destroys a card, unlocks himself, and then gains health and power only if he kills it. The problem isn't his health and power. The problem is you want something that can support it and infinitely. Something that if an ally unlocks, gains health, or gains power, and it somehow helps him. Of course, there's filters for that. As you can see, it's basically every action can have a filter. On any death, whenever a fighter dies, all players lose 50 life. That doesn't help him. So we look for... What else can we look for? On enemy. There you go. On enemy death. Whenever an enemy fighter dies, your opponent loses life. Whenever an enemy fighter dies, your opponent loses 200 life, and this gains 200 power. So that could be a good combo. It's not infinite, but this could definitely do some damage. Because if we killed, let's say 5, that gains 1000 power, and the opponent loses 1000 life. And this end one also could be good. Whenever an enemy fighter dies, unlock this card. Which I will put in. Probably not 4 of. Actually, no, it would be fine. Yeah. So, Wish Knight can kill something, unlock himself, and then unlock this card. And if there's an Acolyte there, then if there's something that's not built up enough, we can use this to just start attacking the shit out of it. Although I think that is all I can do. On target. On unlock could work. There is no unlock cards that I have. What you have to remember is I haven't bought a lot of cards. A lot of these are just I played the game and then I got these, which just shows you how ridiculous like the progression speed is. You can get 49 cards from just beating probably half the NPCs. You do have on ally, right? Which doesn't have one. I don't think I can further continue. No, I could. But this is whenever the card attacks. Which I don't think there's much good in this. Give yourself what? Okay. This guy could be good. Yeah, but the main thing about deck building is you just want to focus on one specific thing and then build around it. If I had... I'll just go in order. If I had this guy, it's whenever you cast a Titan. So I'd obviously build a Titan deck. This one, the Ultra Key. I don't know what that is, but there seems to be a class of Ultra Fighters. So I'd build around that. And then you can just go through every card, find that. And then, yeah. There are some cards. Well, not some cards. There are a lot of cards where no matter if you build around a thing or not, it can still be useful. Like this one. It's not part of a class. It's just an action card. So you deal 600 damage to all fighters with the less health. This could be incredibly good. But since it's part of a no class, most of the time you won't notice. There probably is a filter for these. Yeah, action. Actions, I would recommend putting about 15 maybe. Because a lot of these are really good regardless of situation. Like this one. Set the stats of all fighters to 350, 350. That means that all fighters, including ally and enemy, become 350, 350. But you've also got power-up cards. So if you use this card, and then say, give another 1000 health to the Wish Knight, he can wipe an entire board with just that. Of course, some actions, like this one, it still requires components, which is its own type. And then Red Cliff, you get the point. There is Eye of Heaven, which is very situational. You would have to build a full red color deck. I also didn't know this one. A copy around. That is. Problem is, some cards do not tell you everything. For example, this one. 1,000 Pursuer. Like, you know it's 1,000. You don't know if it has abilities though. But yeah, I think I've explained the main parts. I'll probably go over the tutorial in my next one, and then explain it in simpler terms, because I had trouble with that. I'd say the last bit you need to know, if you build around a color, you don't have to just put these colorless ones in. You can just get all the cards from a color and then discard them into your base plate if you want more of that color. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else I need to? I guess I can explain the gears part. Gears you just attach to a fighter, and then it will give some kind of buff. They can be good, they can be bad, but most of the time they're good, and they're just an added bonus. They can... basically every card could be part of a group. Brains are also actually quite important, because they're the same as, well, basically the same as gears, but they don't get attached to a fighter, they get put into the field on the side, and then if the enemy plays another terrain, it destroys it. But also, the terrain is permanent until then. So, I mean, this one could be good. Spooky Cavern. The main thing to know about terrain is you most likely will have to have more than one, because you'll expect the enemies to have more than one. Although this one, I didn't know this existed. It puts it on the opponent's side, and if you destroy it, you lose life. But if not, then it's a permanent terrain on their side. So you basically can nullify all terrain. I don't know what these mean, to be honest. Um, rank? I don't know what ranked is. Oh wait, no, I know what ranked is. Yeah. Ranks are quite important. You can see rank 3 on this, rank 8, rank 6, rank 10, rank 7. What ranks mean is they need you to have this many cards in your base plate in order to be played. If I wanted to play Eye of Heaven, I need 10 cards in my base plate. It just makes sure that you can't instantly win, basically. You can sort by power, you can sort by health, total cost. Could be useful. This would give me all above 100 power, I think. Oh, there's a minimum and a max. If I go 1,000, yeah, all the cards over 1,000 strength are now shown. Could be very helpful. Cost as well. Rarities are kind of not too important. There are some cards that are affecting rarities, so you could build around it, but I wouldn't worry too much. Oh, here you go. Add health and add power. That's perfect for Wish Knight. Although it seems to be only my gears. Oh yeah, because it looks at the plus. Basically... Damn, that doesn't even add anything. Yeah, if it has a plus before health or damage, it will show up here. It could be useful, but at the same time, I don't know. If you're not sure about some things, I'll be happy to cover them. But also you can, most of the time, hover over a card, and then it'll show up on the side what it is. Like this one. Heavy Rain. Oh. It doesn't mention it in the card, but it just says that the buff can be stat. Get this one. That also isn't mentioned in the card. Aced. The card, when played, can instantly attack. It says that on the little side thing on the left. And you've got stuff like Terror, which play the card as a face down terrain, animate it as a fire when the conditions met. Oh, I see. Yeah, so this card, players cast 3 or more cards this turn. If that happens, the terrain will become a fighter with 800 HP, 400 attack. If you summon it some other way, it'll be 100-100. Yeah, you've got immunities as well. If you know a bit about that deck, you can just get a card that's immune to the stuff that it might do. For example, let's go with Lock Immune. We have one guy, but this means that any effects that would lock the card would not happen. I don't think there's much else I can talk about. As I said, I'm not the best at Blox cards, not even close. But with the basics, this is all I can recommend, really. Oh, yeah. I'll explain the Grinders deck in the next video, probably. Maybe go over more than one. Who knows? Yeah.